Hello, and welcome to the newest episode of the Drive Home Podcast. I am your host, and I have a license, and a car, and a job. So, like probably most people in certain parts of the world, I need to drive myself home. And so that means that I'm going to record this while I drive home. Because, I don't know why I'm explaining the podcast in a super weird way. You all know what it's called and why you're here, if you are. Either you're bored, or you like podcasts, or you also have a short trip, or something. And I don't know. I like the idea of a short podcast. You don't have to get too invested into an episode before it's over. Or really invested at all, really. Half the time I'm just rambling. Anyway, let's get this podcast on the road. Which it already is. Usually I sit in the parking lot until I say that part. Or I'm like about to leave the parking lot and I won't leave until I say that part. Which I don't need to do, but makes sense, I guess. No. Oh, fuck. Shoot. I'm not moving, but I dropped something and I want it. Okay. That's good. Just keep in mind, I'm not a professional driver, but I am a professional at not doing illegal things. So, if you're gonna drive, or if you're gonna try and pick something up while driving, don't. Stop driving. Find a place that you can park. Sorry, I always get caught up in sticking my hand out the window. Anyway, so speaking about that, I got out at 8 o'clock again tonight, which I don't have an issue with, but I mean it's taking a toll on me, I believe. I mean, this is so for this past week, I've had Wednesday off, which was yesterday, and I have Friday off, which is tomorrow. But I'm working my first ever 40-hour shift. 40-hour week. Sorry, a shift would be impossible and possibly illegal because it would be against human rights, I think. I don't know. And the important part about that is that I've never done it before. I'm a part-timer. I work at most like 32 hours a week at some point. I haven't worked more than 20 on average recently, but somebody went on vacation, so I'm stuck with a lot of extra, like most of us are this week, are having a lot of extra hours, which I'm not complaining about because I need the money, but it's 8 hours. Well, it's 8.5 hours because you don't get paid for your lunch breaks. So, do with that information what you will, I guess. So, I think I spoke about it before, but I like No Man's Skies. That was the last episode, No Man's Skies. And to that end, my friend was trying out No Man's Skies again, and he was struggling with space combat. I wasn't really sure what it was that he was having problems with specifically. He felt like, I guess, so it was a combination of a couple of things. He was, he struggled, maybe he was having a stressful day before, but when we started playing, when he got into a ship combat in space, it overwhelmed him, and then also he's newer to the game, so his stuff isn't as good. So he wasn't dealing enough damage, really, which is fair. And then at some point, he kind of just gave up and let the ship shoot him, and then he died. But it's fine. I walked him through some of the game, and actually, so we were hanging out yesterday, and yesterday the cursed update for No Man's Skies came out. Along with it, there came a 2-week-long expedition, which if you complete it, you get a new ship that honestly kind of resembles a Millennium Falcon. Like, it's not the same because the cockpit is in the middle, but I'm just saying, it has a similar shape. I know it's probably because it's supposed to be shaped after like a UFO or something, and then it needs like a gun slot, but still. Anyway, I already have completed the expedition. It's not difficult per se, but starting out is not fun. And then to make things interesting, you're locked out of a warp drive, I believe, the thing that lets you traverse galaxies. And the whole point is that you need to create the special goo or elixir or whatever, like a potion thing, and you take it to like one of the portals, which portals let you input specific planet's coordinates or whatever, because each planet or each galaxy or something has a coordinate made up of a certain number. I can't remember the exact number of them. I think there's like 8. No, there couldn't be 8. It'd have to be like 12 at least, considering how big the game is. But normally with a portal, you have to put in like 1 out of 16, or so there's 16 different glyphs essentially, or like special icons, and you need to input them in a specific order. And when I mean specific order, I mean like, you know, like you could have, so they number them 1 through 16 for easiness, but they have like shapes on them, like there's a whale on one, I think another one is like a dinosaur or something. I don't know, that's besides the point. But you know, you can use one of them multiple times. It's not like you can only have one of each, because that leaves a finite number of combinations. Which, I mean, it's still a finite number considering there's a cap, but it's a way less finite number. I mean, you can just technically just do all one, or glyph 1. Well, actually, now I'm tempted to do that. I don't use portals all that much because they're kind of weird. But now I'm tempted, honestly. You can find the coordinates for whatever planet you're on in No Man's Skies if you enter photo mode, and it should be at the bottom left of the screen. There will be a certain whatever. So basically, it's so that when you do take screenshots, they don't how do you say? It's so that when you take screenshots, people can go to those exact planets or whatever, so they can see the view that you did or something. And you can always like block it out if you're gonna post it or upload it somewhere, but it's kind of cool. The cursed update's really interesting, I think. I'm not sure. That's the confusing part. So I guess I can tell what they added, but it's a little different. I'm trying to figure out what the update means per se, because in the expedition, rules are usually a little different, but more specifically in this one, the rule was very different. Essentially, instead of having hazard protection, which is essentially like, because different planets have different atmospheres, like planets usually have one of 4 different atmospheres, and then a 5th neutral atmosphere, which isn't really specific. Planets are either really hot, really cold, toxic, or the air is filled with radiation. And so you have hazard protection built into your suit normally. Except instead of having hazard protection, you have... I forget what it's called. It's like anomaly something. Long story short, there's a chance that entities from outside reality will try to come and kill you, because the walls of reality are now breaking down. So you have to increase the stability of reality in your surrounding area so that they won't come and kill you. Oh wow, I'm going 40 and you're just going to pass me, and it's going to be 35 in a second, so I know. Like, why even? Oh, big man in a big truck. I don't know. I don't know who's in there. I just don't like people who speed. And sorry, this is definitely the second No Man's Skies episode in a row. But I'm really excited. So tomorrow, we're gonna quickly run him through the cursed expedition. I'm gonna help him by joining his game and giving him stuff, because like right at the beginning, you're screwed, basically. There's like, even so, expert tier players have stated that like they've died like up to like 3 times because of the location you spawn at is usually I forget if it's like all the same for like exactly the same for everyone. I know it's always on the same planet, but I forget if it has to be in the exact same location or near the same location. But long story short, my brain's trying to wrap around what the words are to say. So I'm gonna say it one more time, but when I do, it's gonna be the last time, because I'm gonna get it right. Okay? I'm telling myself this. Please, brain, do your thing. So, one last time. I think that it was. I even forgot what I normally say. That's bad. But so what happens is, so in expeditions, like everyone starts at this like the similar place, at least on the same planet, and has the exact same goals. You'll get shortcuts by completing certain challenges. If you complete all challenges, you get all the rewards. There are 5 phases. If you complete all 5 phases, each one phase grants you a different reward. Completing all 5 grants you the final reward, which is something better usually. The first 5 or so are usually just cosmetics, or maybe not cosmetics, but like lesser cosmetics, like flags or titles or something. Like they're cool, but not really. Like cool, they exist. I'm not super big on customization. I'm sure other people are way bigger on it than I am. Most of my bases are really basic. Well, one of them is actually a little bit different, but it's like the newest one that I've built in an outlaw system. I think. No, that one's still the same. No, it's the one I built oh yeah. So there's this crazy. I'll have to find the Minecraft seed for it, basically, the world code. Maybe I'll share it. But it's crazy. So there's like a scarlet planet. There's like a red. There's like all like cool extreme planets in like one cadmium system. It's crazy. I think there's one slightly more normal one, but it's still like a super weather planet or whatever. I forget what it's called. It's not super critical or anything, which would be like a planet that's primed to explode. Well, is there one? There might be. I forget. There's like 4 planets, and they all have weird names. I want to go back there. It's fun. I built a base there. That's my most recent base, actually. And there, I built like my first floor, because they added new building materials at some point when I wasn't playing, so that was fun to look at. Wait, was it that? Yeah, it was. Right, I remember, because I was playing by myself. Right, yes. Sorry, everything's so confusing sometimes. Memory is not something I'm good with. But they are really cool planets. So what was I? So that's besides the point. The expedition starts terrible at the beginning because you're surrounded by water, for the most part, a lot of it, and that's not good. And the good thing is that once your hazard protection, technically, like, it continuously drains when you're not inside of a building or inside of something, basically. If you're outside, it's bad for you. And there's not like one building. And I guess in theory you can get into your ship, but But anyway, these they will spawn like floating, flying jellyfish, and they will shoot projectiles at you, and you don't exactly have a lot of health to go off of, generally speaking. It's cool. It's crazy. It's cool. There's usually a really big jellyfish. Anyway, you use the portal. So after you need to basically get a blood recipe somehow, which is not real blood. I forget what it's called. I don't know if there's an actual reason. Let's call it the I'm just gonna call it the red drink. So there are 3 drinks. There is normally. I guess at the end there's like another one, but I don't know. They're weird entities doing stuff, and it's really weird, and I don't understand it. But to say long story short is very I mean, it's kind of wrong because I beat it in under a day, but still. And I think a lot of people have, honestly. It's not super difficult, and you don't really have to do too much. It's just doing all the challenges at some point. Like, honestly, the best thing I can say is that at the second rendezvous point, because you only ever spawn using portals at another rendezvous point, that is where you should build your base once you get your base schematic, if you're going to, because there is no space station, so there's no way to teleport to it. Yep. I don't know. The update's cool. I highly recommend anyone who plays No Man's Skies to log in and try it out. You get a free ship. It's not the same color. It's kind of red, but it kind of looks like it has a similar shape to the Millennium Falcon from Star Wars. I can't remember if it's like node thing is on the right side, because the Millennium Falcon is not symmetrical. It's so the thing in No Man's Skies is on the left of the ship. I don't know if that's where. I think it's on the right for the Millennium Falcon. I felt like it was on the left, but now I feel like I'm wrong. I can't remember. I have to watch Star Wars again. Anyway, I got home, so I'm gonna go inside. Thank you all for listening to this episode of the Drive Phone Podcast. If you liked it, leave a like. If you didn't, you don't have to. And I'm gonna not do this outro terribly, besides that bit when I just called it the intro. So, I hope you all have a great next 24 hours, and I also hope that you'll drive home with me again, I guess. Bye!